different channels. The same shows show up in the same chats, and then and they had a Discord, and I was like, oh, okay. And so what's really fascinated me about coming in from this perspective is what you guys have going on, and like what the different channel Discords are looking like, where the Venn of Vervaeke people and Vanderklay people is a fascinating group. And for me, part of my quest, my holy quest, is like, hey guys, the fourth wall is falling. Like, all right, let's talk to the Peterson angle, like, because that'll put us in a we got somewhere to go from there. I was a podcast video game addict. You know, it's like when I'm not at work, I'm, you know, watching YouTube, playing video games, escaping life as best I can, because life is going to work. So when I first heard of him, a friend of mine from the conspiracy-ish side of life, more enlightenment than conspiracy, but he's out there. He sent me Maps of Meaning 9. Is when I first heard of Peterson. So it was like, I think the controversy was popping off, but it was his old material I came into first, like, which I consider his life's work, honestly. And so I was into it. Like, I was like, I got excited because it felt like I got to watch college, without paying $30,000 a year to do it. You know, this is what, like, with my mental health stuff, I had a lot of interactions with trying to get help from the system, and came out disappointed, and possibly messed up from worse from some of the pills they had me on.
Yeah.
But this guy was teaching people was what they taught those people. Yep. So like, if the stupid doctor that was treating me missed stuff, if I go back and see what they're learning, maybe. And clearly, there was a lot that wasn't coming through about masculinity and femininity. And I don't know, you know, he's got 30, like however many hours, it's his life's work, you know?
Yep.
And then he did the right thing. He said, I will go to jail before I let you put words in my mouth. So like, you know, I can see our society as corrupt and twisted and run by the wrong people. And when somebody does the right thing, especially somebody that people are looking at does the right thing, you're like, yeah, that's what we need more of.
Yeah.
And then I really got sunk in with the ayahuasca letter, which because I'm looking, alternative things are right sometimes. So, and I had already been looking into ayahuasca because you got this craving for God and you can't get there with all your addictions, and it's not in churches. And maybe if I take these mushrooms, I can get to something, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so when the ayahuasca letter came out,
people very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great can new, happy, the hours are not what they seem, the hours. People very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great can new, happy, the hours are not what they seem. The hours are not what they seem. The hours, people very just king, great king. people error, people king, big, just king, king. King, happy, many down, many jack, king from right, just new king, big. Great can new happy, the owls are not what they seem, the owls.
Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you. Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. Oh, it's a Grim Grizz live stream. America's first Christian Lionists. Lionists. 2020, 11/12/2025 at SOS. SOS on the thumbnail. Whatever could that mean? We know the Grim Grizz will deliver on the title of the thumbnail because it's never ever clickbait. Never. I would never do that to you. This one might be one of those ones where you say the thing they kill you for. So we're gonna and we're dealing with top tier professional organization level mind control as the subject matter as well. So you're gonna need your savings throws against mind control. That's the power of magic words. They're all magic. All the words are magic. You're swimming in persuasive mind control, attempting to distort and align your view of reality with the view of reality from the perspective of the speaker and or information presenter. It's all mind control, man. You need your savings throws. You can get them here on this live stream if you're willing to make a choice on how you will resist your mind control. What will you base your resistance on? Will it be your will to survive, in which case you choose survival? Will it be your social network, in which case you pick the social? Will it be your accumulated wisdom, Mr. Smarty Pants? That'd be you pick wisdom. Will it be just, the power of my innocent heart? Then you'd pick heart. I roll the die 10 or higher, half damage from the mind control. If the die is 10 or higher. Otherwise, you're taking full damage, but you're normally taking full damage. And at least now you know. Informed is have to battle. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Voice is a weapon. Survivalists, you'll be taking full damage with your deuces today. Socialists, however, prime 19. What a display. Wisdom, folks, coming in strong. 2 8s worth of 16. Half damage for you. Hard, folks. A pair of 9s. Worth of 18 for you. Indigo kids. Just the chakras for you. Just the chakras for the indigo kids. Howdy. We have a howdy. I saw a howdy out there. Who was the first howdy? We got one from Mills over here, and then there's another one. So you do a little bloop, and then howdy again. Stop scrolling for me. There it is. Joe Cross did it. Matthew's out there. Rando's saying nonsense. Neil Daedalus, Seeing Owls. We got Professor Luigi calling us lads. And Dust to Dust. I see out there. It's Green Man, you're right. And who else has showed up? Anybody? Peter, good to see you. Good morning. Howdy. This, like I said, this one might get me killed. So could you extra prayers from the prayer team, if you don't mind? That'd be great.
So say we all. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see. Doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency. Okay, and we got a virtually not alone bubble from the Green Mania, right? Because that's one of the benefits of channel membership is you get to make bubbles and stuff in the Hive Mind chat. Not any of your other YouTube memberships that aren't giving you bubble powers or at least custom emoji powers. You should really ride them about that. We're starting today's show out with probably the most important thing we're going to cover. I'm not going to beat around the bush. This is a development that everyone should pay very close attention to. And that's the three of diamonds from the casino deck to say over on the Afriel Pilots stream, this happened.
When you have, I don't know.
She dashed out of the room. 3 hours later, she came back.
I don't think it's quite the same when you have girls involved, although
she shrugged and said my theories were good.
Boys need a place to just be boys.
Palm of her hand. I think she meant it literally.
I don't know why that's such a controversial thing.
Incredible. She went out to the kelp forest armed with just and went fin to fin with.
Don't tell me I just died.
Oh, I didn't even see you dying. That's what happened, and that means he finally, in the middle of a stream, didn't even give it his own stream. He started his most important quest to date.
Taking up too much of the screen. Okay, guys, we're gonna try and end OBS and then bring it back. We'll see if this works.
That's right. Now on FEL streaming, the original Half-Life 2, which really sets the tone, as it did for me like 20 years ago or whatever, about what's going to happen with drone technology in the near future. So be sure and tune in and laugh at him every time he dies. That's what brings us together.
Although this world will devastate you, and rejoice although this world will penetrate you, and rejoice although you will not survive. Rejoice you'll never make it out alive.
Excellent rehearsal, gentlemen.
And rejoice your hair smells like burning hair. Oh, rejoice, your nails all got chewed off. Oh, rejoice, and holy fuck, you're bleeding there. Oh, rejoice, you burn your whole beard off. Rejoice, despite the fact this world will hurt you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will kill you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will tear you to shreds. Rejoice because you're trying your best.
Hey, I love that one, dude. That's gorgeous. Thank you, brother. Wait, who's that brother?
Andrew Jackson G. And next up, brought to you by the Jux deck card of the show. The five of spades, excuse me, pardon me, is this over from Walter Kern, who I think should do a crossover with somebody. Look at the northern lights near Livingston, Montana. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. While our Earth's magnetic field fails, and the sun is about to send us an EMP that will wipe out all telecommunications, it's really pretty. It's really very pretty.
Frog can't stay in the water forever. And that's the most important thing. At some point, you have to finish the story. To finish the story, the frog has to get the golden ball. And one could say that the golden ball is actually the sun, which will come up for the new day. The frog has to get the golden ball and bring it back to the surface of the water. It must carry the most important thing, carry the seed of the new world to the princess so that it can grow. If that doesn't happen, there is no telling what else can come out of the water. If the frog stays there for too long, it will be eaten, or it will call some darker monster, because there are other things down there beside the golden ball, and the frog can tempt the Leviathan to devour it.
And in news, I don't quite know how to take. And it's both vindicating and destabilizing, but it appears that for this Valentine's Day, Cypress deck card of the show is the Queen of Diamonds again. I think for this Valentine's Day, you'll get to see my backstory dramatized by the one and only Sam Rockwell.
Hey! This isn't a robbery! I am from the future! And all of this goes horribly wrong.
And so I'm very excited. It's one of the only actors I enjoy watching anymore, and he's dramatizing my life in the new film.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're in for a really weird night.
And so that's exciting news. It's fun for everybody.
Broken family. Broken family. Shut up! Broken family. Shut up!
Immediately, I remembered, because I'm a devotee, a follower of Socrates, I remembered Socrates' daemonium, his divine sign that spoke to him. And all of this was starting to say, something else is going on here that doesn't fall cleanly into the two automatic categories of madness or demonic encounter, where people have, there's a whole continuum of where people have full-blown encounters like this to very, very things where they just have a felt presence of something behind their left shoulder and getting into what I think is going on behind that. And so
happy, the hours are not what they seem. The hours, people very just.
All right, shit. We're to the part of the stream they might kill me for, but I'm inspired and motivated by the new feature film coming out there. So that's good. That's good. Here we go down the road. We got a card. We got a thumbnail, and we got a title: America's First Christian Lionists. Now, the origins of this title began to land after the oh my God, Tucker Carlson has platformed Nick Fuentes, and the what do you call it there? The MAGA Civil War, as it's been characterized, and that, as you've seen in the previous stream, I've covered a good understanding of that. I think Groypers was in that title. The Blue Church card of the show is the 10 of spades. Okay, 10 spades worth, huh? All right. Well, let's see. Now the All right. How are we gonna go into this? We're gonna go into this from the personal angle. I grew up as in basically a secular home. We participated in all the national holidays, and there was some lip service, I think, to the Christmas part. And I was brought up to pray the prayer, now I lay me down to sleep. So whatever the nominal Christianity you want to call that level of secularism is, right? And so you hear about characters in the gospel, like different apostles, right? And they get little nicknames, right? Like one is named Doubting Thomas. They're Doubting Thomas, right? Okay, so it turns out that you'll find on the internet that he had his own gospel that was just sayings of Jesus, but for some reason the churches decided not to include it. And if you get down into the sayings where it says the part about the male and the female, you'll probably understand why the church didn't include it. But you don't know from these sources that you can trust this church organization, because it's been full of people all these centuries, right? And could have been infiltrated by dark forces or something and edited out the good bits, right? So you don't know, as a person outside of these traditions, what to trust and what not to trust as far as verifiable word of God. But you figure that it might be interesting, some of the sayings that this guy attributed, because he was a doubter, this guy, and you're a doubter. So you identify with that particular guy. So you check out his gospel. And there's this line in there that doesn't make a whole lot of sense at first, because it's about lions and eating and blessing and cursings. And it's something along the lines of, blessed is the man who consumes the lion, because the lion becomes a man, and then cursed is the man whom the lion consumes. The lion consumes because the lion becomes a man. And so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. However, as sitting here to you, Lion Chow, sufficiently Lion Chow, I can say to you that it boils down to this notion that there's this thing called man and nature, and that we are in these beast-born bodies. And if you've ever caved to a bodily impulse, despite the fact you know better and don't really want to, then you'll know what it's like to have the lion take a bite out of you, and so that's really the man versus nature dichotomy. I think is exemplified the falsehood of the manhood versus nature dichotomy. I think is best manifest in what has victimized me personally, and that's what we call carbonated sugar water. Designed, it's you wouldn't give it to your dog, right? You wouldn't let your dog drink soda, but you do because you're a human and we know better. And but really, you're riding around in a beast body, and the chemicals you ingest do the damage. Just because man made it doesn't mean it's safe and or effective. And so that's it's a false dichotomy, and you have to respect the beast because it's the temple. What? Okay, you're getting off track now. The Lionists. So the reason we can use Lionists as a term, and the reason we need to, is because Satan is the father of lies. All right, and then one of the things that turns out into being is that, like, people under his sway can't say certain words, and for example, the reason we have to say Lionists is because you're not allowed to say the other word that sounds very similar but starts with the letter at the end of the alphabet. And the people who also can't say that word, but they're on that side, that's we can call them Christian Lionists, so we can talk about them safely. And the thing is, they're a different side of this MAGA civil war from what's being called the Christian nationalists or the American First side. And that's because the key issue that divides them is one that we could call the Lionist angle. Really gets after gets to the core of, as I'll demonstrate.
Tune up. Working on it. Tune up. Tune up. Tune up. Tune up.
All right, shit. Let's just do it. Shall we? Shall we? Okay. All right. America's first Christian lion. All right, we did that, right? I understand. I explained to you what a Christian lion is. Why is it a lionist? All right. Well, all right. So here's the deal. There's this thing, and it's called a Satan. It's like when Satan is just a title, it's the opposition. It's the controlled opposition, if you will. And as Satan is the father of lies, the thing of it is, there's this Darwinistic deception as a virtue thing, where if you're stupid enough to be fooled by me, then you haven't made the Darwinian cut and deserve to be treated like the cattle you are, because you let the lion consume you. And so by being the purveyor of vices through which the lion consumes you, you confirm your own cattleship by being consumed, and I get extremely wealthy because I am in service of the Satan. I'm helping sort the wheat from the chaff of man and beast, by purveying the means by which the beasts indicate their beasthood. That's the S. That's the S in the SOS you can find on the now. The divide between the America's first crowd and the Christian Lionists is whether or not they believe the word of Christ through the angel in the book of Revelation, chapter 29, and that's the existence of the SOS, which is probably a word I'm just not going to say like that string of words for the algorithms here on YouTube. But the SOS thing, whether or not that exists, is the differentiating belief structure between the Lionists and the American First crowd, because the Lionists are subject to the deception that it doesn't exist. And that's much like how I have on the card here that the Blue Church doesn't believe in the devil. For example, when we first met Pastor Paul, he would say things like Jesus's line that greater things than these you shall do was the medical advances humanity had made. And it treat the demon possession like it was just curing epilepsy and additional healings and not actually the casting out of because the devil doesn't exist and people are basically good. I don't understand. I don't take all those things Jesus said about the seed of the devil and the tares growing up beside you. We don't talk about that. Because, and so that's the SOS and whether or not it exists. Now, see, the problem is that the American First crowd doesn't properly differentiate the SOS from the ethnicity associated with the first word of the SOS. And therefore the Christian Lionists have every right to be offended and horrified by the misassociations they're doing. But if they acknowledge the words of the Lord and the existence of the SOS and how that ties to all the Masonic and conspiracy shit we've all been telling you forever, then we can get somewhere. And to support that claim, I'll bring on this clip and then give a nice drop. No, wait, we need branding for a minute. And then, all right, after the branding stuff.
I'm not a cat.
Imagine a world where boundaries blur between reality and fiction, with Mikhail Gorbachev leading the charge. Gorbachev didn't just challenge political norms, he dared to break the fourth wall in storytelling. Tear down that fourth wall, he exclaimed, inviting us into a new era of engagement. His metaphorical call wasn't for Berlin alone. It was a clarion call to storytellers and audiences alike. Engage directly, break barriers, and foster a dialogue. Gorbachev's words echo in the halls of creativity. As storytellers, it's our turn to tear down that fourth wall, inspired by Gorbachev's daring challenge. Join us in this creative revolution. Tear down the walls that confine your stories. Share, like, and subscribe for more inspiration.
StreamYard is not being friendly to me. Anyway, I'm gonna do the disclaimer afterward. Here's some fun.
Story seems to go all throughout it. And you talk about the recent work of Robert Temple on plasma. And this is just a quote where you say, you say, some scientists quoted by Robert Temple now believe the rings of Saturn contain charged dust particles structured together to form crystals. Temple says in A New Science of Heaven, dust and dusty plasmas are ubiquitous in nature, occurring in interplanetary and interstellar clouds, dust rings around planets like Saturn, and on the surface of the moon. Saturn is a fantastic frequency broadcasting system. And it's just like, wow, validation once again, vindicated. This is just more confirmation of things David Icke's been talking about for decades. And this is really the last thing I want to slide in here. So
just very quickly,
when we did this,
just very quickly, Greg, that's why Saturn symbolism is all across human society in the form of the six-pointed star, the hexagram, the hexagon, and the cube, or these things and others, but they're key ones. That's why they're everywhere. That's why that's why the Rothschilds put the Star of David on the or as it's called, on the flag of Israel, because where did the name Rothschild come from? It came from the German red shield or red sign, and it was after the six-pointed star on the Rothschilds' home in Frankfurt, Germany. Ron,
it's Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, as the AI bots have told me. What's your disclaimer about all this, Grim?
Oh, Greg Carlwood, huh? The so-called humble stoner host of the Higher Side Chats? Yeah, I've been keeping tabs on that guy for years. On the surface, he's just this laid-back dude from Missouri, churning out podcasts about conspiracies, occult stuff, psychedelics, and all that high strangeness nonsense. But dig a little deeper, and it starts smelling fishy. Why is he always platforming these fringe types, secret societies, hidden histories, elite rituals, like he's some gatekeeper for the truth? Makes you wonder if he's not just controlled opposition, feeding us half-truths to keep the real bombshells buried. Take that whole Tracy Twyman mess back in 2019. She was a real deep diver into pedogate, symbolism, and all sorts of dark elite crap, and she guested on his show multiple times. Then boom, she turns up hanged, rolled a suicide. But right before that, her Dead Man Switch video drops, accusing Carlwood and his buddy Kyle of straight-up harassment. We're talking creepy texts, calls, even wild claims about them pressuring her into horrific stuff involving her kid. Carlwood rushes out a statement denying it all, painting her as paranoid and unstable. Convenient, right? Like, who benefits from discrediting a researcher who's poking at the same shadows he's supposedly exposing?
The list? Yes.
Maybe he was
any of the
silencing
first
her
level
because she got
ones.
too close.
Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast magic missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting magic missile. Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
All right, and now we're taking pew, 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 pew. We're taking a deep dive into the current psyop. Let's go.
and I'm going to show a video. Please forgive me.
Wait, human speed.
Of one of my first introductions to this guy, Nick Fuentes, and what he was saying about Ben. This is a video of him showing himself playing Grand Theft Auto, right?
Megan, I'm not trying to shit on you. I'm sure you seem like a lovely woman. But you're such a mom right now. You're such a parent. You're old. It's hilarious. And that's fine.
Nope. Her being out of touch is bullshit.
That's fine. But it gets way better than just this part.
A video game where you shoot people, and he's pretending that this character in the video is Ben. Let's watch.
Nick is literally live streaming Grand Theft Auto like 6 years ago.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, that makes me laugh and laugh. That's a funny one. What a chance encounter that was. I think I just saw Ben Shapiro.
These guys, I mean, obviously, they have never been in a Call of Duty chat room. These guys have obviously.
So this guy, he apparently is an underliner of the bullshit and explainer to help the crowd follow along their way they're supposed to. So you're supposed to think that they had no idea that this clip was referencing Nick's history of streaming. Let's see.
Internet today. Check this out. This is pure gold. And oh my God. Let's just remember, it's been 10 years since Ben Shapiro, rather than debating Nick Fuentes, tried to cancel him. Had whole organizations gang up on him, had him debanked, had him put on the no-fly list, had him kicked off of all the platforms, everything they could possibly try, except sitting down and out-thinking him in the open markets with your ideas. Ben Shapiro is still a fucking pussy, too scared to debate Nick
How dare
Fuentes
you.
to this day.
How dare you.
And he could do it anytime he wanted. He could do it right now. Nick Fuentes just re-offered the challenge just the other night. It would be the most watched.
Here's the sales pitch, ladies and gentlemen.
Debate in probably the whole decade, like overnight. It would probably single-handedly bring the Israeli wire back from bankruptcy.
See, this is what they're preceding the event subscriptions now. And Megyn Kelly was complicit or ignorant of her staffers doing it, because the whole meme is that
Ben could get a new mansion. Flip that Megyn Kelly apparently didn't look far enough to find.
Maybe I'll take a cruise down this side of the street.
Nick's just cruising around.
So just remember, the Fuentes backstory, right, is that Ben Shapiro made him. But he's not controlled opposition, because wait, what? When did he pop off? Oh, right after this anti-Semite nightmare. Didn't he sided with the official investigation of the Kirk assassination and didn't pull a Candace Owens investigation, muddying the water investigation, into the damage a 30-06 actually does to a human spine. And so now he's famous and a talking point, and the show must go on, ladies and gentlemen. The show must go on. Oh, and then therefore, and also then, we have some other fun news. I did this thing where I gave them 3 movies I think we should watch to initiate people into adulthood. And then we've expanded it into Watership Down, The Cube, Layer Cake, Enemy, The Wrestler, The Gray, and Children of Men. And I've decided I'm going to start doing Saturday watch-alongs on the Broken Clock Tower Discord if I can, or something. If you're not doing anything on Saturday mornings, come around the Discord. We might be watching this initiatory movie series. And then I got one more piece that's probably worth doing right. So have some branding while I get ready. Okay. What happened was once upon a time, there was a feller that came on Paul Vanderklay and gave us being the what's known as Beauregard strawberry. And that's how we get better at making the flavor of strawberries, do strawberry candy, the hyper simacro, but we call it Beauregard. And that guy was Vocal Distance, and he wrote a thing that people that can't read should probably hear. And so I'm just going to read it. It's made the rounds on the X, but here's my audio rendition of Vocal Distance's post here. I despise the Groiper movement. But if you want to understand where Fuentes gets purchased with young men, I will tell you how it happened by telling you about my experience at the orientation night when my son joined elementary school band. My 11-year-old son joined the elementary school band, and so I went to the parents' orientation night, which was held at the local high school. As the night went on, it became obvious to me why young men rage against the larger social system. The classrooms were inundated with DEI, that means God in Latin, messages and trans pride flags. On the walls were posters, stickers, and various decorations that all invoked the various totems of diversity. Black Lives Matter messaging, decolonialization messaging, LGBTQ plus messaging, and basically every sort of race and gender social justice messaging you can imagine was present. The advertisements for post-secondary opportunities featured social justice education prominently, including advertising a course on indigenous ways of knowing as something grade 12 students should pursue upon graduation. Many of the teachers have "This is a safe space" stickers on their doors, and others had variations of "In this house" messaging on their doors or on the walls of the classroom. The entire aesthetic which dominated the decoration of the classrooms was a progressive leftist coded "In this house" and "Be kind" aesthetic. As soon as you walked into a classroom, there was no doubt as the political leanings of whichever teacher occupied that classroom. The only way I can describe it is to say that progressive social justice activists have colonized the school and marked their territory. A woman in a mask who was in charge got up and read a number of land acknowledgments before acknowledging the contribution of indigenous people to ways of knowing. Standard leftist land acknowledgement boilerplate. Additionally, every interaction was done in the style of HR professionalism mixed with progressive leftist. All right, I can't do it anymore. I tried, guys. Here's the link. Here's the link. The point being, that we've lost the schools a long time ago. And until you like realize there's a McMahon in charge of the Department of Education, and if the troops are being trained at the high schools, you don't waste your time dealing with the front lines. Save the children's.